Hello, and welcome to Horn of Plenty. We're here. Thank you for the hype horn. Need some like chemical energy directly injected, just in somewhere.
Got it right here.
Neil has coffee, and I'm mad about it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to get coffee now or
What
later, and I said later, and it was the wrong choice.
It was the wrong choice.
Fool! Everybody like my tweet for today? It's my favorite one I've ever done.
It is quite a good trade.
High tier. I must accept your artistry.
I have a way of appealing to people.
You have a way with words. Another form of artistry is the artistry for shenanigans that you got up to last week. The party has been in the Minotaur city of Shinebank, getting information and things, and making friends, and making enemies. You made some enemies last night. In fact, actually,
Not
lost
sure we did. I
now.
think we clubbed all their
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Well, you made enemies, but they're dead now.
We made temporary enemies.
Temporary enemies. You looking for dragon weaponry. End up fighting some dragon cultists in a weapons shop to get a weapon from them. And you actually did. You got a dragon tooth hammer, which, according to the information you got from a dragon lady, would prove more effective in your quest to defeat the green dragon Malakesh that has been terrorizing, haunting your home. And from there, you know, let's assume that you ran away from the scene of the crime. Probably back to Zekian's. What is the next step? What's the next plan? I mean, you've done a lot of the things you came to the city to do. It would be entirely reasonable for you to get back on the road and start heading back home. At the same time, you don't have to do that yet. If you have other things you would like to achieve while you're out in the city.
Do you have a scale that detect dragon? We have a nondescript hammer that is made of dragon.
It is a dragon tooth, like affixed as a hammer.
We don't actually know what it does.
No.
It's things.
Yeah.
Well, would it be a good idea to attempt to get someone to tell us what it does? Not from that shop, obviously. Preferably not anywhere near that shop.
If only...
Remember our drunk old man's name.
Zekian.
Oh, if only we had a
Vastinus.
party member.
If only you had a party member that could cast Identify and has multiple times before as well. Did last session, actually.
If only we could have identified that.
So once you've gone back into your safe house on the coast, Amaryllis would just probably take the hammer and do her thing.
Hours, lots of staring, lots of silence.
Now,
I don't believe that's how this works.
as you quite
She
expect,
pushes it in.
from
the other
no insurgent is happening here. Not right now. That's for my my other show.
Oh. Everhole.
It's a living. this hammer doesn't have a wide range of magical abilities, which is somewhat what you expected. Actually, you're down this way, Ian. Doesn't have a wide range of magical abilities. Sorry, just a little camera joke. But it is made of dragon tooth. It's a genuine dragon tooth, which you already knew because it triggered the enchanted dragon scale that you got from Arvine. Not that Arvine, but that Arvine.
The chaos miscauses.
The actual effects this dragon tooth hammer has, because it only counts as a regular hammer, like a light hammer as well. It's a non-martial weapon. It is big, but it's not designed to be wielded in a way that would be very effective. It may have even been made by gnomes or something because of the quite small size of the thing. But what it actually does, even though it would do low damage as a hammer, it has a +2 magic bonus against dragons. Just straight up. Anything with the dragon tag, +2 to attack, +2 to damage, which runs in line with Arvine's belief and theory that, dragon teeth and claws are most effective against dragon scales. And that's essentially what this bonus is. It's not even magical, it's practical,
If it's a light hammer, that's a simple weapon, I think.
Yeah, light hammer is a simple weapon. It's also a thrown weapon.
I wonder... So it's a light hammer. I wonder whether that would be best on Bell.
It's probably not finesse for sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh, is it not?
It's probably best on you, to be honest.
I mean, it might be finesse. But I don't think so.
It's a giant hammer.
It's not.
No,
It's
a
not
light
a
hammer.
giant
Oh.
hammer.
It's a wee baby
Okay, I
hammer.
definitely was just fucking picturing
Yeah,
it
I-
Like a
the
monster
size
ham,
of
like a
the
monster
hammer.
hunter thing.
I thought
No,
it was
it's
like a maul until Ollie said it was a light hammer.
it's
It was
Oh,
always a small hammer as well.
Okay, my bad,
we just-
my bad.
I think everyone misunderstood that, yeah.
Definitely, I thought it was.
Oh, you know
literally
what?
like
As
the
light
size of
light hammer
Bora.
does 1d4, this does a d6 as well. That's
it's a
because I
D6
thought
and
that
plus-
light hammers actually did a d6, and I'm not giving you a d4 magic enchanted weapon to get the dragon right here.
And it's a +2 again on damage and to hit against dragons.
Yeah, it's just a +2 bonus to dragons because it
I like
rolls.
that. Nice and simple.
Nice and simple.
All right. I was gonna say it'd be best on Bell then because
Oh.
she's got the best chance to hit, but I guess I'll pop it for now.
I just tried to host by typing literally just /host in your chat.
I
I need coffee bad.
Nah, to be fair, that would be cool if that did work. Just for all the hungover folks. What? So yeah, that's your booty, and yeah, that was quite easy to get as well. But you also know probably not to try your luck trying to what are the chances of there being another similar weapon in the city you wouldn't have already found, but that's just going to be extra effective against the dragon. It's going to be hard to get whatever damage you can in, so being able to secure a little more damage with that bonus will be very useful. Specialized weapon.
So, Torin's gonna use it then.
Thorin's got it right now. If you
I feel
used
like
it,
you should because a hammer and a mace, pretty
Yeah,
similar.
it makes it's like everyone else. It would be a downgrade on what they're using.
Like if this was in
agree, yeah.
Divinity and I had a character using a mace and I found a dope ass hammer, I'd be like, throw that fucking mace away, idiot. This hammer's
Excuse me,
for
don't
you.
Don't talk cruel of my giant slaying hammer.
you could keep that one for giants and use this one for dragons.
I was talking smack about a non-existent, what's the word that I'm looking for? Hypothetical mace in Divinity. I would never talk trash about your prized mace. I would never do it.
Good, because then I'd have to.
Thwack.
Introduce you to the mace, I presume.
Then it talks smack, and it's not very good at orating.
Talk smack.
Get smacked.
Ah.
So with that acquired, what next? What is next for this group of troublemakers?
So
We
we
must
have
find
the
more
option.
shops.
We have the option to try and find something. Problem is, we're pretty much at this point determined that we can't afford anything. We won't be able to afford anything. That we
Yeah.
find.
Well, I mean, what are you trying to
Even
find?
This little,
Like-
even this little light hammer was thousands of gold.
Yeah.
I will.
And I
say,
also
Valara,
just said you not so much in canon that this is the item. You know, you found it.
Oh, I thought that there were more. I thought we were all gonna get one. That's my bad. Also.
Well, like that would be feasibly possible, but looking for a weapon like this at the sea would take weeks. You know, if you want to
Okay.
push your luck and try and do that.
Sure. Then I think that we need to figure out a way to get the rest of our weapons upgraded, and Balara would push for such.
So as we know, I don't think it's feasible for us to go and get dragon-made weapons elsewhere right now, because we know that we'd have to go over to the west of Mother's Horn, which is rife with both dragon cultists and dragons.
Not
And
to
right
mention
now
they're
we-
probably exceedingly rare.
Well, they're probably less rare over there because they're in the hands of dragon cultists.
Take a long time. I think in terms of getting anything upgraded, it's going to be expensive or time consuming.
It's gonna be both, but we can't face a dragon with just a mace that does one piece.
Well, obviously, our own weapons and normal weapons will hurt it. It's just particularly effective.
Yeah.
I wonder whether it would be worth heading back towards home and seeing how our potential gnomish allies are doing. Because we're a lot stronger than we were now. We could potentially go and either ensure that any coup is unsuccessful or mace that guy who tried to turn us into
That
slaves.
was one of the classic things that you could have done for the dragon is try and get all of the people of the valley on your side.
And I think the gnomes are a good shout because they have both a highly defensible place that could hide the village potentially if you know, like we decide to have combat. You don't necessarily want to have all the civilians around. And also they are technologically advanced. They may well be able to give us better weapons or make us better weapons, or they may well be able to make war weapons. Who knows? We know that they're capable of many things. And I certainly wouldn't say no to if we manage to ground a dragon, shooting it with a ballista or two, if we're able to, you know.
There was also the Minotaurs who were under Malakesh's rule were sort of rebellion was fomented, so we might want to check and see about that. I mean, other than that, if we wanted to gather the rest of
It's the
the Green Valley,
pirates. I say that, you know, like I don't know what the term is. They're like free sailors. They're not quite pirates, but they're not like contracted to any big company or anything. The guys under the one-eyed Minotaur.
yeah.
Oh, that's just like a neutral town. Yeah. It's like pirate adjacent.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's
but
not
they've
like,
been ravaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the other thing that we haven't checked at all yet, but if we were trying to get everyone together against the dragon, would be the Aarakocra.
So
I mean, we
Aarakocra,
could-
there's Gwailing.
There's technically the Greylings. They're going to be pretty tough, I'd have thought.
They're
But-
tough, but they're also they have threatened to kill you every time you've encountered a Gwailing. Gwailings are otter people that live on the river and are terrifying. So if
Don't
you've got
look
them on
tricky.
your side, then
He says there are
that'd be a
people.
huge
They're a quiet kind of
benefit.
edges.
That's just what an author is.
Oh, this is so loud. I was at the zoo like a few months ago, and we were like, "What is that noise?" And they're just like constantly squeaking and charging about.
When I was at the zoo with the otters, the handler said that you're not allowed to touch an otter, like you're not even gonna go near, because their instinct is to bite your thumb and twist until it comes off.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that's what they do to like muscles and things.
Yeah.
And it might be the nail or something. For some reason, they go, the thumb is the place to go, and it's like a phenomenon. Apparently, that's what they'll do.
That's pretty scary.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I suppose the other thing is there was that quote-unquote adventurer from our town who Neil's character was interested in.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't remember why exactly we were all interested in him.
Vinda Dougal. He was the last person to scare away the Ice Fae.
Right. Okay.
He had a bunch of... He wrote. Not entirely common around these parts, and went on adventures, so has...
Yeah. That
just
might
information
be
about the lands.
Information about the lands. Was he I'm sorry, I didn't make any notes on him because it wasn't really my character's thing. Was he sort of like adjacent to the town healer in some way? He
was like a skald, like a bard.
Multi-skilled.
Because I'm just wondering whether he would have his notes might include it, or
he was magically inclined.
Yeah, might include things that would be useful for Torin to try and bring the dragon down.
No matter what, I do think that we should try to make as much money as we can on the way home, and like at least aim to get some weapons upgraded. It's a dragon, and I think that Balara would push for that.
I suppose that's not impossible if we intend to take the mountain pass with the plan to hunt, say, Yetis or equivocal. Like, it's risky though.
Or you do some fucking mercantile arts and you buy stuff with what gold you have here and sell it at Balcutta, and then either... Because bear in mind, whose weapons need upgrading? Richter has a magic spear.
I have
you have regular stuff.
Not even a crossbow.
Yeah, you have a short bow made of wood, and you have an enchanted carpentry kit to go and take to your dad, who's a woodworker. So, probably one of the better... If you want to save money, you could go, Dad, upgrade this with this, right? Then you'd at least be time back at town. So, just to fear... I'm not saying this is what you should do, but you could, theoretically, go back to town, give that to Griff, and then go and see the gnomes, and then maybe have something by the time you're back, or go, I want a crossbow, or whatnot. Is an option, because if you want to... Because upgrade your weapon, like as a random thing, this isn't Dark Souls. You can't just hand in and get a +1 with some Twinkling Titanite. That's...
Totally.
Like, that's an abstract concept that doesn't translate to this.
I would like
this setting of D&D.
I would like some tweaking. Titanite, please.
You already got your magic weapon. So like abstract, like you either go in with a plan, or you really want to, you go like Griff, make you something masterwork,
don't you
right?
be toting that pseudocrem at me, boy.
It's in my hand. I need a hand object. I need my cream. So that would just be because if you did that here, you'd wait a bunch of time, and then you'd need to make a connection with a person, and it's time. You could totally do that.
One way or another, we're going to be heading back in that general.
Given that we may well want access to the gnome's place, I think that the amalgamation of plans would be best in that we leave Shinebank practicing mercantile arts and maybe kill any more of those lovely golden furred creatures, etc. that we see. Sell stuff on the way when we get to Balcutta, so we have more gold, which hopefully will get us entrance into the gnomish place, or allow us to have a better standing in the gnomish place, because before we were
keep some of our mercantilely acquired goods to act as traders when we get there.
Yeah. Exactly. Because they might... I mean, it's been a while, and we're humans, right? They might not even care. I mean, he might remember us, but the rest of us... I suppose... there's no reason why we couldn't do a disguise. We've learned a lot from old Zekian.
Yeah, you're going to
Dress in
disguise
drag
yourself
and
as
do the
prostitutes
hula.
again.
Yeah.
I do want to bring Zekian back with us.
Oh, Zekian's already, like, Zekian basically has pledged to your cause. He might not necessarily be a fighter anymore, exactly, but he's coming back with you.
No, I just want him to marry our witch doctor. That's all.
Ha!
Wow. I'm shook
It's funny.
by this.
Are you referring to Vikia or Torrin? Or both?
Oh my gosh, Leha. I'm talking about
That's what I
Leha.
meant. Vikia is someone else.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a schism?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
Um,
badass, like Leha.
It has a
bit
different
more
sort of badass.
badass. Yeah, I think that
Right.
Leha is a badass, dude.
Oh yeah, Leha will beat you up.
I hate to say it. Maybe we should try a little bit of tactical gambling before we leave Shinebank.
Oh, it always happens. Oh, it always happens. Because how much gold do you have between you right now? I mean, most of it's probably in your
I have
Most of it
278, baby.
I've got 280 because Amorous barely understands money and doesn't really use it.
I have 310.
How much?
310.
Yeah. So, I mean that can buy a lot of like trade goods.
We have quite a bit.
But double that amount can buy double that amount of trade.
And we could afford to gamble, say, 200 gold.
Oh, you're gonna be sensible about your gambling side quest now?
Or 300, whatever. But I mean, this is up to Bell, but like, this is the one time that Torrent actually would be like, maybe we should try and turn us a bit more profit. I mean, it won't be a huge loss if we don't win anything or we lose the gold, but a profit's a profit. No pressure, Bell.
I mean, if you're against the gambling, and she brandishes one of her daggers, she's like, I could go cut purses.
I think that's probably a lot worse.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Gambling it is. Let's go.
Seekian coming with you to also show you to a casino or gambling hall will broach the topic of if you're talking about maybe spending some of this gold on an investment, there are many goods that are more valuable when they're smuggled out of
Not buying
Shinebank
I was
to
just gonna
a different port that can escape. I am talking of silks and clothing.
They have to be
If
smuggled out?
Well, if they were sold at a port like Balcata and they knew what to do with it, someone could make much more money because they wouldn't be paying the tariffs and taxes of Shinebank. Maybe not necessarily need to be smuggled, but I imagine the guard wouldn't be too pleased if they caught you doing it.
I don't understand. Why not both? More winnings, more silk.
Oh, of course. Oh, good. We're gambling.
So
There's no
we
doubt
win
about
gold
it.
here, buy silks, take silks, sell silks, get more gold there, go to Gnome Land, use gold to buy allegiance-ish, and then we kill the dragon with the gnomes and the minotaurs. And we need to go speak to the minotaurs first, and the bird people and the otter people. It's quite a to-do list. Good luck, Belle.
Thanks. I don't need it.
Sure.
Zekian will
I'll see how
show
you
you
roll.
to a
Yeah, I'm a little bit. Doxy's worried. Belle is very confident.
I'm a slap Belle with one of these bad boys.
Which one are you going to give?
I think dexterity is probably best, right?
It's like dexterity or charisma, right?
Yeah,
As the options.
but like, what do you think she's gonna use? That's the question.
I would say bolster the charisma.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah. Because
All
my
right.
dex is already fucking chef's kiss.
But if that's what you're going to use, though, then we should bolster the dex. I mean, it depends on whether you're going to cheat.
I
or
might
not.
have to use both.
I love
the
the idea of you're like sitting here outside the place. Zekin's waiting. You're like, like with two little like magical symbols like carved out.
We'll go for charisma then.
Okay. Zekian will guide you inside, parting the clothen door to the noble ghoul gambling hall. One part tavern, all parts fun. The noble ghoul is a shady place with a healthy crowd of both rich and fancy minotaur in their decadent getup. All those words gumbled together in my mouth. As well as members of the family. Members of the family are absolutely gambling here. Some have even taken their yellow tabards off and stuff like that to gamble. And just a bunch of shady people. This is absolutely the kind of place where you could probably get away with cutting some purses. There's also a lot of drinks, and there are beautiful maidens carrying plates of drinks around the tavern. Some of the drinks looking particularly noxious, although there's not actually that big drunken atmosphere, because most people are playing seriously, right? This is a culture of people that respect gold, most of all. And they're greedy. They're not throwing their coin away. People are playing to win, right? This is like you're playing Red Dead and you're at the final poker table in the map, right? This is hard mode. It's also to be said that a lot of the fancy noble folk have a bodyguard near them or a weapon on them, right? That kind of stuff is totally fine and acceptable in the smoky interiors, strong with tobacco and maybe some Mary Jane.
I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
There was hyper cocaine, now there's hyper weed. That's what's happening.
This is
This
regular
isn't
weed.
hyper weed. This is mega weed. Come on.
Ultra pot.
Mega Joanna.
Sure.
Mega Joanna is my favorite. I kind of
That's
wanna
like
change
that's like
their
a
handle
porn
to Mega
name.
Joanna right now.
Zekian will guide you in and immediately be like, well, knock yourself out. I'm going to knock myself out. And gravitate to the bar.
I guess
I
I'll
would
stand
do
next
a
to Belle,
fun
pretend
little
to be
curtsy.
a bodyguard.
All right, Torin, you pick. You pick the table. What are we playing?
I don't know any of these games.
Yeah, you look around the room,
I
and
know
there are
them
people
all.
playing with simple dice. There are people playing fancy card games. There are people playing straight-up poker and blackjack things. There's also people playing Mountains, which is the gnomish game that has come up before. And the most...
And I'd be quite good at that, right?
Yeah, that's the game you and Gale play.
Okay, then I would probably gravitate towards it and say, this is the one that I'm the best at, but I'm feeling particularly lucky.
Which one is the one you're worst at?
Telling anything to Richter.
We'll do that one. No, I kid. Let's do the one you're best at then. Surely.
Okay. I will
Okay.
sit down at the
Stupid.
Mountains table and I'll flag over one of the drinks ladies and I'd say a round for the table
Oh.
and give her a gold piece.
She's just like, I'm sorry, this won't be enough.
No, it literally is the whole table, ma'am. And just waits
Okay.
for more.
I give her 5 gold pieces and tell her to keep the change.
gravitates away with a flick of her tail and heads off. Mountains. The mountains table is specially made because mountains. If you don't remember, it probably showed up in like session 4, and we're on session 24. Mountains is a game played with 3 spokes on each player's plate, and the cards are slats of stone with a hole in the middle. Each one has different value, and you stack, and the way you stack, and there's rules and all sorts of things leads.
It's kind of like Dominoes meets poker. Right?
It's kind of like Dominoes meets poker meets that game you play when you're a toddler and you have to stack tall things on top of small things. But
I'm not sure that's an organized game that you have to play. It's just something toddlers do.
But also it doesn't take all that long. It's it takes like 40 minutes a game, so you can get quite a few games out if you want to stay here. So with that in mind, what's your game plan here? Because you're good enough at this game to, like poker, come in with a plan instead of just trying to go for luck.
Well, first, what's the buy-in?
What's the buy-in? A place like this, let's say 25 gold.
Okay, perfect. I will throw my gold into the pot. I will ante up, as it were. And I don't know. She would make the smartest moves.
Okay.
she would play.
She would just start off playing, just playing. Just no shenanigans, no mind games.
I'd be a little bluffy.
No. A little bluffy. Okay. One sec. I'm just checking some gambling rules. The gambling rules are mostly for downtime, but there's some neat stuff in there. And we wanna have a little fun. Okay. First of all, you wanna play smart, but with a little bit of bluff. Why don't you start off with a, Start off with an insight. Read the table, right? These people are probably going to be sitting here most of the afternoon, or for most of the time you're playing. Get to know them.
And know them I do.
This is disturbingly good.
Yeah,
this is funny because
what happens with Doxy is she gets like 2 or 3 good rolls, and then on the critical roll she'll get about 1.
That is
now this is a combined experience, right? So luckily one failure won't ruin everything. But this is like Belle in her element, right? Belle spent her spent her teen years playing this game with Gale in Clearkeep, and has probably played it quite a bit in Balcutter as well. So playing it here in the big leagues, in the hard table, is pretty cool. And it's all the same types of people. Like, sure, they might be wearing fancier clothes, they might be minotaurs instead of gnomes and stuff, but you know exactly how these people are gonna play based on the way they're sitting, the way they're handling their cards, which one has a bodyguard, which one has their own weapons, which one is playfully touching the waitress's rump while they're waiting for a turn. All those things. Just good, wholesome fun.
The way that she'd be bluffy is she would pretend like she had no idea what she was doing. She would play naivety. And, anybody that was looking a little sexually deviant, she would definitely lean her cleavage towards and try to like distract and stuff and be like, so what's this one mean?
Yeah. Please give me a deception and then a persuasion.
Okay, so for my charisma...
You have advantage on the charismas if he gave you charisma buff. Yeah.
He did.
Oh, did.
Well.
Wife. That's really good.
And then, what was the other thing you wanted me to do?
Persuasion. Because there's no seduction rule, sadly.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah, I mean, that's really, really solid. You actually going to play a couple of rounds here with this energy. because like I said, it's like a poker. You're sitting at a table, you're playing quite a few rounds, and you are every plan you're setting in motion is working, right? You're tricking people into acting like you're the only human at the table, so you could act like you don't even know this game, and it's a gnomish game. I don't even know which one's a gnome. Are you a gnome? Like that sort of like what's not, and can flirt and be a little ditzy and all these sorts of things to have people eating out of your hands, and then you're even doing so well at the deception that you're playing off winning, right? Going, I didn't even know that would work, kind of thing, but it's working.
This is a triple score?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's working really well, and instead of pissing people off at the table, people want you to play more, and even giving you drinks and are rooting for you.
I love it.
So, after, 2 hours of playing, you're going to have put in 50 gold, and then get... I'm doing the galaxy brain. Another 100 back.
Okay.
So, you earn back the 50 and then 100. So you're you've tripled your money right now. Easily within roughly 2 hours. What's the plan from there? Do you want to stay? You want to play more? You want to... Because the risk is... although it doesn't seem likely that... it doesn't seem likely at all there's much risk on playing more, right? Because these people here now love you. They are invested in you. Even if you keep winning, I mean, sure, mate, you'll have to lose a couple of games just to not be completely suspicious. There's not so much risk of someone, working out that you've been faking and stabbing you under the table or anything.
They've only got little arms, really, so that'd be quite a
There's actually this is all Minotaur at the table. It's a gnomish game, though.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I would be speaking to them in beast tongue
Tugs.
too.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I used to have a baby.
You know what?
It's hard.
There would be a gnomish person manning the table in like a little tux.
And I would speak to them in Gnomish.
Exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And yet somehow you're still making it playing off that you don't know anything.
I'm a
I've
scholar,
never
not
met a
cancer.
gnome before, she says in Gnomish.
Yeah.
Like, perfect Gnomish.
Do you want to just like play all evening and see how much money you can get? Do you want to play for a little bit and then not try your luck for too long? Or
I would defer to Torin a lot because, like, no matter how much Belle loves this, she still doesn't want to make her best friend uncomfortable.
So after 2 hours and like the pile of money has grown triple in size, what would your thoughts be? And at this point, drinks are flying and that sort of thing. Fairly strong liquors and stuff.
As soon as we get to like a sizable amount of cash in front of us, Torin he does look a bit uncomfortable with it, but he never says like it's time to leave or anything, because Belle's been asking to do this for ages. And we've said, look, we need you to do this and try and make us some money, and she is.
Now,
if someone's beating a giant to death, you don't just be like, whoa, stop.
There
Might
is
hit you back.
a third option to continue gambling or stopping. And then I guess the third option of going hard and gambling all night and just seeing where it goes, which will almost certainly lead to blackout drunken adventures. A third option is to try and get someone to gamble something that isn't money. Say if there is a wealthy merchant at the table, or something of the like. And you are, controlling the table so well right now without people even noticing. That is a viable, if not risky, option.
Okay, all right. She would say, what if we made this interesting? What if I lose, I have to give you a demonstration with my bow?
What, you're good with the bow there, little miss?
Very. I used to have to hunt rats for my father in the cellar with a bow. I couldn't lift the club.
I don't know. That was very funny to me, Ollie, human being. But what if we win?
Then I give you the demonstration.
What if you win?
What have you got? That's worth a demonstration with the bow.
So here's the question to Doxy. Of the people around the table, there would be people who are very clearly merchants. Someone who's quite clearly a professional thief. And someone who's quite clearly a warrior, like a scarred old Minotaur type. But most of them are merchants. Which kind of person would you be appealing to and challenging here?
Whoever is the most taken with me, because the implication here is that they get to spend more time with her. Not that they're interested in the fucking demonstration, right?
Yeah. What would be a good... What would a slightly drunk, older, slightly horny Minotaur bet on their... what's it? Yeah, you know what? You look like a girl with fine taste. If you win, you can have a bag from my shipment of spices from the old world.
I will look very excitedly at Torin.
Spices are always high value trade.
Torrin doesn't want to make it like really obvious that you're like looking towards him for direction, so he sort of, as you look at him, he'll like nod, shrug, and then look away because he doesn't
doing like a Richter impression, but not good at it.
I love it. Very interesting. And
Spicy.
she would say his name too.
Yeah.
Very interesting, comma, your name.
Doesn't matter. You won't remember in the morning. So this would be, I think this, because we got the insight. So let's do, well, this depends, right? How you want to go about gaming against this person. You could deception,
Well, I can't
persuasion.
feign ignorance anymore.
No. But you could try and figure another way to do deception, which, like, just straight up bluffing. But, of course, that would be, at this point, like, going full bluff would be, maybe people would see what you're doing.
Yeah, it would also just be detrimental to the rooting for me stuff.
Yeah.
I think she would just play balls out. I
Just
don't
play
think
balls
that
out?
she would
Just-
try to deception. I think she would keep trying to charm.
I would
Yeah.
say enhanceability only lasts an hour, so I don't know how long. has
Yeah,
passed.
in which case that bonus
That's just-
has faded.
So you
by
lose
now.
that advantage.
Okay.
That's fine. You didn't need it. So let's start off with a persuasion for the
And I don't wanna
general
recast
charming
it
that's
here
going on.
because
Yeah.
That's suspect.
And then after that, we'll give you a... Well, let's do the persuasion first. Yeah, that's still good. So you have in your character sheet the playing card set, which, if I remember, is this game, essentially. So if you want to give me a... intelligence roll on that. If you click that, it should go intelligence. Okay, yeah. So you're playing the charm, you're playing the flirt. You know, by the like, even though you're because you're still playing against the table, right? But you want to beat this guy. You've got like an arm around your midriff, and you beat him. You know, you beat him. You play it in such a way where you just make the right tactical choices at the right moments. Continue playing up your character.
She would look to him and make her eyes big and be like, "You let me win."
No, I would never. My wife would never let me. But fair is fair. I mean, and you'd also win another 25 on that.
Oh, yeah.
Fair is fair. And he'll get up from the chair and like, well, oh, it's stopping time for me anyway. Go with me for a bit. I'll give you your spices, my lady.
And she'll look back to the table and put down another 5 gold and say for drinks. And say, it was a pleasure. Thank you for teaching me. And follow him out.
He will.
Oren would also accompany the strange man who's trying to show Belle his sack.
Leads you into a dark alleyway to his
Here's
assistant.
my spicy sack. Sorry, I'm like
What's worse is that I call being horny being spicy.
Wow.
Nice. Spicy. But he will, lead you to his things and straight up offer you a bag of exotic spices from the old world and bequeath it to you as a genuine gift for the pleasant evening, which is gonna be like, this is actually 20 gold at least of 15 gold regular market, more if you can sell it well. Just for free, So, with that, afternoon coming to a close, it's getting dark in the city, a pleasant buzz of alcohol, and a satisfactory aura of victory and gambling conquest.
Yeah,
And
there
what-
would definitely be some Belle looking to Torn like, that's how it's done.
Very impressive, Belle. Didn't think you would be able to pull it off, to be honest.
Ought to come with me to Clearkeep sometime.
Yeah.
They don't even like me there, and I still win that much.
Yeah, I remember what they're like. Well,
they like me, just not the way those people.
way I see it, we did well. But we're done here.
Yeah, agree.
Maybe we should sleep in the tavern outside, pick up Saffron, the sleigh, pick up some goods perhaps, see whether any of the traders coming in want to sell it before having to sell tax to the family.
Let's ask Zekian what he thinks. I don't see why we should spend money on a room if we don't have to. That was just about making money.
Zekian didn't leave with you. Zekian's still in there. Assumedly, you haven't really been checking on him.
He's probably going to get the old boy because, let's be honest, he's probably getting beaten out the back right now.
You go around to the front, and as is typical of Zekian, when you go to get him or find him,
yeeted.
something's going on. He's leaving the tavern with 2 folks in tow. His arms around a young man and a young woman who may be related. They look very similar. Who are actually half elves in typical 1920s prostitute garb, befitting the area. He's very drunk and very flirtatious.
I see you've met my father. Excuse me, and Torren will insert himself.
You
and
did not
pull
come
him
from
away.
my balls.
Yep. Of course I didn't. Dad, say. Come on, Zekian. Sorry. Mum would be furious. You understand. I could tell, both of you. Say mum, maybe.
You pull Zekian away, and he kind of falls asleep on you halfway through, on the way back. And he drools.
I'd take one of his arms around my shoulder.
Yeah.
He'd have an arm around his shoulder. And
So, still want to see what
Grab him
Zekian
back.
thinks?
Still want to sleep for free.
Fair enough. We don't have to pay to exit this place.
But we would have to pay for a room.
Bedtime! Actually, a real good place to take a little breaky brew. You know, you're having a sleepy, so why don't we have the big sleepy? And we can be back
Ollie's
in
gonna
a
go
bit.
make himself a coffee.
Am I?
Absolutely.
Yes, you are, bitch.
Okay, jeez. I guess I am. I'll be back
Made it
after with
quicker,
a
I'm not
coffee,
gonna
I
lie,
guess.
Neil. I liked that very
Spicy. All right, let's get out of here.